Welcome back everybody, you're just all wonderful for staying here, and of course those who just tuned in as well. I want to know what the hell this actually is. This is MSI beat it GosuCup Asia. This is the loser bracket final between Arrow Gaming and Kingdom, and Arrow Gaming, they're out for blood for sure, because Kingdom, they were the ones to actually knock Arrow Gaming into the loser bracket to begin with. So this should be a pretty damn nice game. It is a best of 3 as well, so at least 2 games coming our way. But my name is Coucher, and joining me will be Banshee. Unless he has his microphone muted. Which might be the case, but I guess we'll find out. Wait for him to just pop in. Going over the draft at the moment though, it's Kingdom banning out a Brewmaster as Arrow Gaming, taking out a Viper, and both are really common heroes for either team, I guess. For Southeast Asian region in general. I mean, Brewmaster coming around in every scene pretty much just randomly. It's so weird to see heroes who have just been forgotten but have started getting drafted again. And oh, looks like we have some Skype issues, but I'll just keep on going. I'll check if my Skype output is the correct one. Yes, it is. So hopefully soon enough we'll have all the issues fixed. Just keep on trying, Banshee, keep on trying. But now, the secondary ban by Kingdom, it was the Lycan, whereas Arrow Gaming, I mean, Invoker, Pathrider, maybe even an Ancient Apparition or Treant Protector might have been the bans, but they decided for the favor of banning out the Invoker, whereas Kingdom now, will they pick up the Ancient Apparition as their first one? They did play it last game against Titan as well. Didn't work out too well for them, because well, Titan just got the early advantage, like they always seem to do somehow. At least against, I have to say, lesser known teams. Not so much weaker, but just lesser known and less experienced. But Kingdom, they start out with a Doom pick, and while Arrow Gaming, they're pretty like, I don't even know, just fixing my head a little bit, but they do pick up a Doombringer for themselves pretty often. But Arrow Gaming, they do reply with an Ancient Apparition and a Rubik, and the Rubik is just such a great hero to go up against the Doombringer. But well, and yeah, to all those who are wondering where Lance is, he wasn't here for the loser bracket first round game as well. Oh, did Banshee say something?
Hey, am I back? Am I working?
Yes, you are.
There we go. Not quite sure what happened there. It was all working perfectly fine. Then my microphone decided it wasn't going to do anything. Restarting everything works.
That's always good. But, well, one thing I have to clarify for the viewers is that Arrow Gaming, Lance is missing their carry player, and the stand-in father, he's actually Chibix from Scythe Gaming. So it's a pretty well-known Southeast Asian player, of course. So Arrow Gaming, even though they are one man short, they definitely have a nice player filling in for that role. But Kingdom, they pick up a Shadow Shaman for themselves as a secondary pick. So having lots of push with the Mass Serpent Wars, lots of lockdown as well. And by the looks of it, Kingdom, they somewhat want to fight early on by the looks of it.
Yes, and I will say it's a little bit interesting to see that they went off and first picked Doom. On the Kingdom side, Doom, one of those good heroes, a little bit more popular in the Asian scene. But at the same time, he's generally one of those heroes that makes it through to the 3rd or 4th picks, even if he gets picked up or banned at all. And getting that first pick, first ban position is a little bit interesting coming out from Kingdom.
Yeah, it really is, but actually Kingdom, their secondary ban was the Razor, and the Razor actually has become a little bit more popular as well lately. I guess maybe Kingdom are thinking of a certain mid laner that would not do well against Razor, I guess. And actually do think that Kingdom might have even something like a Dragon Knight in mind, with them already having the Shadow Shaman, so just some extra push maybe would help.
Yeah, as in, at the moment, the Shadow Shaman, it's a very popular support because of it. You know, it has plenty of lockdown, lots of nuke, and its wards always give that possibility of being able to go for just a straight-out push strategy. He effectively works in most strategies that come out.
It certainly does, and well, we will see, because Kingdom, they actually banned out the Tinker as well, so it would make sense if they wanted to go for some form of push. Of course, the Ancient Prophet was taken out by Arrow Gaming, as the Lycan was banned by Kingdom themselves at the start. So maybe just going for like the kind of moderate push, which also has a pretty decent amount of team fight at the same time.
Yeah, at this point, there's plenty of things they can do. It's a very generic lineup. Doom counters most heroes, so to say, although it counters some more than others, and does stop Arrow Gaming going for a lot of the more popular ganking style heroes, as in stuff like a Puck, like Storm, even a Tinker to some extent. Doom does counter all those rather nice, as you do see a Darkseer getting pulled out, the first part of a possible wombo combo.
Yeah, well, it's always nice to have the Doombringer, of course, especially against the Darkseer as well, who just relies on his spells so heavily. But then again, the Darkseer usually goes for like boots of speed, Soul Ring, Mech into Blink Dagger. And once you get that Blink Dagger, the Doom, it's just impossible to stop the initiation from a Darkseer unless you have some magical things happening for you. Although, even if the Darkseer pops like only the vacuum, the Doom will still be nice. And of course, like overall, Arrow Gaming will have to pick up 2 other cores, which the Doom will be able to disable. And just Doom overall is so hard to bring down as well, thanks to his Scorched Earth. Of course, now Ancient Apparition does counter that to some extent, of course, him not being able to heal up when he's under the effects of the Frostbite. But, I mean, it's actually hard to say. Both teams are probably looking to just maybe get some pick-offs, just some team fights, because both lineups so far at least look like they can easily team fight. They're not just too heavily focused on like split pushing down or just farming up or anything.
Now, something I do want to point out is that Arrow Gaming might decide to go for an aggressive tri-lane here, as we do see the Darkseer they picked up as their off-lane hero, so to say, and a Darkseer against a Doom is a very, very bad thing. That Devour basically counters everything about the Iron Shell. It means it's hard for him to get levels, it's hard for him to get experience or gold. And I am going to be wondering, are they just going to try and send that Darkseer on the safe lane? He'd do a pretty good job against a Clockwork, considering that Iron Shell doing a lot of damage against melee heroes, and use that Ancient Apparition plus Rubik plus another aggressive carry, possibly. Because it's a little bit interesting they picked up Darkseer when they already knew a Doom was on the field.
Yeah, I guess they are just really confident in their ability to not get doomed before they get their spells off, and if they get doomed afterwards, they just don't care as much. Or maybe they are actually looking for like a Death Prophet or Dragon Knight of their own. Just heroes that, if you have already activated your ultimate, you don't care about getting doomed that much anymore. So I guess that's maybe one possibility. As Kingdom, they actually went for a Clockwork. I guess just for some initiation. It's nice to lock in the Darkseer as well, I guess. So, or any target so that they can search them out by the Darkseer. I mean, catching Rubik in the cogs is not the best things, because Rubik can just throw you out of them. But then again, he will still be locked in it for the others to kill you. And oh man, it's gonna be kind of difficult for the team fights for both teams, because it will just come down to positioning, and at the moment it feels like who gets the jump first.
Yeah, I would agree with that, as we do actually see on the Rubik, you do mention that, and it's a very good pickup for Arrow Gaming, since if you have a quick look at all of Kingdom's lineup, there's lots of really nice spells from still. As in, if he managed to pick up a Doom, then that'd be absolutely amazing. But even if he doesn't manage to pick up that Doom from Doom, we'd have the Shadow Shaman, his wards, practically every single ability on there is pretty good. The Clockwork spells aren't slouching either. And this Rubik is a very nice pickup against what Kingdom's currently running.
I mean, Rubik is just such a safe bet as a support as well. I mean, you will have at least like 2 to 3 good spells to steal at least every single game. But Arrow, wow, they went for a Wraith King, and by the looks of it, it's gonna be a core Wraith King.
Yeah, they're probably go for a core Wraith King, and it wouldn't be, again, like I said before, I would not be surprised if they go aggressive trialing with this. They've got lots of stuns, lots of burst, and one thing that Doom is weak at is he's not very good at trialing versus tri-lane situations. He doesn't have any stuns, he's got lots of survivability, but with the amount of nuke that's coming out in Arrow Gaming, that doesn't matter, and silence are getting picked up.
Wow, well, the Silencer is a pretty smart pick, because if you can silence up the heroes, the Doom will actually have time to locate his target and get him doomed up at the same time, so that he actually won't get any spells off. As well as, actually, even if the Ancient Apparition starts his Ice Blast but gets silenced in between, he can't activate it the secondary time to actually leave it at a certain point, so it will just fly to the edge of the map completely. So that is one nice part of it as well. And once he gets that Aghanim Scepter, actually, the Silencer does a lot, because you can Curse of the Silent them, then Aghanim's ultimate, and there will be double Curse of the Silent on the targets.
Yeah, I will say that the Silencers are a very interesting pickup there, and for me personally, I would expect them to send that Silencer mid, since a Doom, Shadow Shaman, Silencer trio, if Arrow Gaming decide to go aggressive, then that tri lane will get destroyed. And I'd like to see, hopefully, a more, solid defensive support coming out from Arrow, maybe even something like a Dazzle, as we are going to be seeing, well, not a Dazzle.
Well, I mean, Arrow Gaming, they do need themselves a mid laner. Puck did just get banned, of course, by Kingdom. But what other alternatives? I guess a Storm Spirit might be there. It doesn't combo up too awesomely with the Darkseer Vacuum, but I guess they go for the Temporary Assassin and... wow, okay then. Kingdom Pudge.
Wow, that's... I guess it just worked against a Templar Assassin, but it was instant pick, almost like they knew exactly that they were going to go for this right at the beginning, and we are seeing a lot of initiation coming out on Kingdom's side with that Clockwork and the Pudge. Having said that, their laning stage is going to be a bit shaky.
I mean, they went a little bit greedy here on Kingdom, I think. I mean, before this patch, it was like, okay, pretty nice. But the patch, it can work out. I have seen patches do pretty decently in games. The Dismember with the Rot is actually really nice against Temper Assassin because it just eats through the refraction charges, as well as being able to hook people out of position. And I mean, Pudge is a relatively tanky hero who has built-in magic resistance once he actually starts leveling up the passive, I guess. So maybe it's not that bad against the Ancient Apparition as well with it. Well, I'm not just too sure, especially because they don't have any proper late game with this now.
Yeah, they're going to have to win this early, or... I'm trying to think, they could theoretically go send Silencer mid and have the Pudge be a kind of a support Pudge. We have seen a few teams trying this out, because you do have to remember that he's one of those heroes, although he does well with levels, items isn't really what he needs. He just needs to get his hook, get his ultimate off, and he's basically done his job as a hero. And we could be seeing possibly Fruits going mid on that Silencer, and a Pudge kind of playing as a roaming support, and that would give them a little bit of carry potential right there.
Oh man, this is going to be hard for Kingdom. They drafted against Titan almost the same way, that really like early mid game oriented. Didn't really get to do too much, but I guess they wanted to draft the Pudge for the set that he has. Look at the Pudge.
Oh yes, as in, that is lovely. Just go zoom into that and it's like, what set is that? It's the
seen it somewhere before.
Murder of Crows. Oh, it's the free-to-play set.
Oh, radio. Now it all comes together.
Sadly, I didn't go buy that because I was watching free-to-play in free-to-play mode.
Indeed, I don't care about items, but even the Doombringer looks pretty badass at the moment. He's a little bit like hunched over. Like, rah, venting out his frustration.
Yeah, I will say that some of the item sets, especially the new ones, are pretty awesome as we are going to be finally going live into this match. The pause, the customary beginning pause finishing up. And so, we've got, on the Radiant side, they are probably the underdogs in this matchup. We have Kingdom, and they're going to be made up of Yumiu, Konpaku on the Shadow Shaman, Fruits on the Silencer, 2D on the Clockwork, Fixers on the Pudge, and Smashy on Doom.
Yeah, and for Arrow Gaming, Johnny will be playing on the Ancient Apparition, leaving Mosun to play the Rubik with Xiang Sai to be the Wraith King, DDZ on the Darkseer, and Father, as in Chibix from Scythe, will be on the Temporary Assassin.
As we do see right now that I do actually like Doom's name right there, just Smashy. Simple, to the point, and easy to say for a caster.
It's... Oh, that name would be kind of perfect if you were an arcane mage in World of Warcraft or something. Because you just smash one button and win. I mean, in Dota it's a little bit more complex though.
Yes, you have to press 4 buttons, sometimes at the same time.
Oh my god. That's impossible, man. How can it be done? Don't think it can. At least not a huge success. Well, at the moment, Kingdom, they're just going for the standard tri-lane, I guess. They don't actually have a proper hero to benefit of farming the jungle too much. And actually, Arrow Gaming, this Observer ward here, Actually, I think it doesn't give too much vision. Let me check. Oh, there's the Brave Fire Blast onto Shadow Summon. Can they get the telekinesis? Of course they can. It actually doesn't push them on the high ground, but nice body blocking by Xiangxai. This should be the first blood for them. I think at least, yes, Xiangxai actually want to actually get it in the end. He will get silenced, but don't think he cares all that much about some 150 damage and a silence.
And this was the issue that I was talking about during that drafting stage, that we saw Arrow. They picked up that Darkseer, and to me, picking up a Darkseer against Doom suggests that you're not going to be sending him in that off lane. And this aggressive tri lane with the Silencer and the Doom not really doing very much in a tri lane versus tri lane situation, they're going to have a very difficult time in this bottom lane.
Yeah, indeed they are, man. I think it was a really smart choice by Arrow Gaming to actually lane like this at the moment. Because, well, Clockwork versus Temper Assassin, it's gonna be pretty even. Darkseer definitely has a better time against Pudge than a Temper Assassin maybe would. I mean, Temper Assassin has the Psyblades, of course, that help, but Darkseer, he's in no actual threat of dying to the Pudge unless Pudge is level 6 and has the Dismember.
So you see an attempted gank there by Pudge. Gonna miss that hook, and he's gonna be perfectly fine. And I will say this middle lane is probably going to be in favor of a Darkseer just because his Iron Shell is going to keep ticking down, going to keep doing that damage, going to just keep harassing out the Pudge and stopping him from being able to do that to make full advantage of his rot.
Yeah, I mean, it's already apparent as well, and Darkseer has 8 and 0, so nearly perfect creep score for him, whereas the Pudge sitting on 3 and 2. And as the levels grow for the Darkseer, the Iron Shell will become more and more annoying. Yeah, sure, you can argue that the Rot becomes stronger as well, but he's gonna level Hook anyway. And I mean, the Rot isn't half as strong as a double Iron Shell is. But oh, they get the telekinesis onto Smashy, Brave Fire Blast to follow up. They're actually holding on to it. There's the Cold Feet as well. They wanted to proc the Fate Bolt. Will it be enough? Yes, it will. But the Shackles onto Xiangxai, they will get the counter kill at the very least. So that's nicely done. Fruits gets 2 intelligence, and actually, Wraith King having intelligence stolen from him. I mean, he's struggling as it is before already.
Yeah, that's actually a very nice counter there coming out from Kingdom. Really taking advantage of them pushing a bit too aggressive to take out that Doom. Doom, a very tanky hero. I think he's only got a single Iron Branch and only level
but they're
2.
gonna go again. Fruits, telekinesis up, Brave Fire Blast to follow once again. But there's the Curse of the Silent. Actually, Xiangxai just got rid of it as the Brave Fire Blast came a split second later than the Curse of the Silent. But Mozon, now he's out of mana, which can almost be said for Chonyi as well. But they've gotten their kills. They've gotten what they came here for, and I mean, the Doombringer has 8 last hits at least, so not doing that bad. And they actually picked up a Chain Lightning from the jungle.
Yeah, in fact, I just the other day actually only just realized that ability exists. For those of you who don't know, it's from one of the Harpies, and it does about 140 damage and keeps jumping around 4 times, each time losing a bit of damage each time it goes around. It's not a bad ability, so I'd say, in that early game nuking stage.
It's actually pretty strong because it's fairly spammable. Yeah, Doombringer doesn't have the best mana pool anyway, but 50 mana he can get guaranteed last hits with that, at least at the moment, because he doesn't actually have to put himself in that much trouble. The range of it is pretty decent, and Xiangxai just drops down to a quarter of an HP as, well, Yomo Compact just vents his frustration with a level 2 Ether Shock. Looking at the other lanes, like top lane for example, 2D, he's sitting on 13 and 3 compared to 12 and 2, so actually it's rather even at the moment. Clockwork keeps on mana burning the Temper Assassin as well, and well, it's not like a mid lane Temper Assassin with a Waddle who doesn't care about it. So him making sure that Temper Assassin actually doesn't get the refraction off, it's a safe way for the Clockwork to actually get some farm in return.
And in fact, we do see the Temple Assassin could be in a bit of trouble right now. He's locked in and the tower's going to start hitting him. He's got no mana for the refractions. Can he get out of there? Desperately trying to go out. Finally pops his one at the last moment, and he'll be more than fine.
Oh, that was way too close for comfort for him, I think. But in the end, he does survive. Has a healing cell as well, which he's actually not popping yet, so waiting it out at the moment. Not like the Clockwork can do that much. He was pretty much out of mana. As Arrow, they just went with 2 support heroes to defend the rune, just in case for DDC to pick it up. And by the looks of it, DDC, he's actually heading for a Hand of Midas. And what do you think of Midas on a Darkseer?
I don't think I've ever seen it that often, but at the same time he is playing on that mid-roll. He's going to have even more farm than a Darkseer usually has, and he can take advantage of it with fast mech, fast pipe, fast all those really support items that a Darkseer likes to pick up. As I guess if you've got the farm, why not go for it?
I mean, I've seen Midas on a couple of times on a Darkseer. Actually, it has worked out more often than not, even at least lately. But I'm not the biggest fan of it. But then again, if you get it fast enough, like a mid lane Darkseer would, like you said, I mean, mid lane Darkseer just get that much more farm than usually. So the levels are definitely one thing that the Darkseer needs. Although Xiangsai might be in trouble, they get the shackles off, there's nothing to stop it, and actually he's definitely gonna fall, I think. He's on the run now, but gets a nice stun onto Smash, he might be able to survive. Oh my god, Curse of the Silent taking him down, he will... Oh, 1 HP, are you kidding me?
You can't get any closer than that, and he will be able to survive. A little bit lucky there, he had 1.4k gold in the bank. Not quite sure what he's saving towards, as he's only got brown boots right now.
I think he might go for a Midas as well, because Wraith King, more than any other, especially as a carry role, he needs to have at least at level 11, because 260 seconds on his ultimate, it's just way too long to make use of it. And well, speaking of Midases, DDC finishes it up in the jungle pre 6 minutes, so it's a pretty nice timing for him. Johnny on the bottom lane, just grabbing himself some XP, but oh, Pudge is coming in. He's under smoke. Will he get the hook onto Johnny though? He's almost behind the range creep. Finally goes away. The TP comes in. Well, Johnny, he's definitely gonna go down. Dismember just in case. But at least it wasn't Xiangsai, so that's something good for them.
Yeah, very nice hook there coming out. Very nice gank, and this tri lane is surprisingly going better for Kingdom than that initial start would have led us to believe.
Yeah, at the moment actually DDC is looking for a rotation on 2D. 2D waited for the bottle to come out from the courier, so he's probably safe now, and DDC uses his surge. They actually go in, they use the slow and clockwork as well. He can't go for the cogs, actually, he needs to go for it in the end, and Chibik's dropping down low as well. Actually, the wall comes out, 2D, he's still alive, the hook! They get the counter kill, can they kill off TDC as well? He uses the surge, gets hookshot, and gets taken out. Oh my god, that turnaround by Kingdom.
Lovely stuff there coming out from Kingdom, and it's a very crucial kill. As I was about to mention that the TA is actually pretty beating this clockwork right now, as soon as that refraction and all that additional mana regen you can start to pick up using those Ring of the Basilius, it means that you get to the point where the clockwork can no longer compete.
How does one compete? I guess the clockwork, that definitely helped him out. He's suddenly level 8 now. I mean, he's higher than a Darkseer who had a Hand of Midas. At least the Midas was on cooldown anyway, so the death wasn't that crucial, but that of course gives now Pudge 2 for 2 as far as the rotations go. Like, both rotations have been successful so far, and that's exactly what a Pudge needs. You need the early start, and oh, the hook will miss TDC unfortunately. But the Pudge, once he actually gets a point into Flesh Heap, he will already have 2 stacks into it, which makes him even tankier. So, I mean, the Pudge so far, it's not working, well, it's rather working out pretty nicely for them. Whether it will stay relevant, that's a whole nother matter though.
I will also say, note right now, the reason why all of these rotations are working...
Xiangsai gets surged up, he has the Ion Shell on him as well, Smashy. He is stunned, and Fruits can actually do anything, doesn't look like it. They're going on Yomo Kompako as well now. The Curse of the Silent actually, Xiangsai, he's gonna fall by the looks of it, he's tanking up the tower, has the Reincarnation, so it doesn't matter that much, and now Fixers, he's slowed down as well. Looks like, well, Kingdom, he had a nice fight, but now they're gonna get Smashy in the end as well. They doom up TDC, but Smashy, I think he should have just run away, and the doom even got stolen by Moson. Oh my god, that's just the worst possible scenario.
Yeah, getting that doom stolen is absolutely huge right there, as he's gonna have that for another... about 180 seconds, so he's gonna get at least 1 more use of that doom, possibly even 2 if he can pop it off fast enough.
Well, and from that fight, Xiangsai actually finished up his own Hand of Midas. Okay, sub 9 minutes, not that bad, like off lane, you don't get that absolute free farm or anything. Plus they will get the tower now as well. So double Midas running, DDZ with the tower last, it's actually only 50 gold short from a mech being finished 9 minutes in with a Hand of Midas on top of that. Man, that fight was just so extremely good for Arrow, it's not even funny.
Yeah, the rotations coming in did look like they were going to turn it around at some point, but that reincarnation from the Wraith King, the reason why it's so popular as a support right now, it effectively meant that all the damage they'd done to him was all for naught.
Indeed, well, I guess they'll just have to try to make it a little bit better next time around. Or not try, but they'll have to. And oh god, sorry guys. Had to fix a few issues. Now DDC takes some damage mid lane, but activates the mech. He's gonna be fine. The hook will miss from Fixers as well. So they just lost the Ancient Apparition there.
Yeah, this push has been doing a lot of work for Kingdom right now. And I did want to mention, before that team fight rudely interrupted my analysis, is the reason why it was working at the time was simply the ward positioning from Arrow was very focused around this mid lane.
Oh, Oh, Temper says he might be in trouble, but there's not enough mana for a hook from Fixers. And they just milled out. Oh, but they have the Sentry and the Dust Buff. But oh, Chibix wanted to go for the counter kill. Actually, he's successful as well. Oh my god.
Lovely stuff there coming out from TA, just getting a kill there. It looked pretty hopeless in a 1 versus 3 situation. And the TA right now is probably going to be going towards a fast blink dagger. Although I say fast, he's about 1.3k gold away from being anywhere near that.
Yeah, it still needs quite a lot for it. And of course, those deaths, they definitely do not help at the moment. At least DDC and Xiangsai, they're just farming like madmen at the moment. Xiangsai's Midas is off cooldown. So just waiting for the next creep wave, I can guess. Maybe even jump into the jungle. Although, oh, Doom is there. Actually might Doom up Xiangsai. They know that the reincarnation is definitely on cooldown still.
But Rubik also still has a Doom. It's a battle of Dooms.
It's just so annoying to be a Doombringer up against a Rubik. I mean, it gets stealing so damn often. It's not even funny. But Smashy, oh, force step in by Mozon, and there's the Doom coming out onto Smashy before he gets any spells off. And well, the hook tried to come out from Fixers, it wasn't enough. He has to dismember. Well, now the rod got stolen, and that's completely useless for a Rubik, more or less.
It's always not fun when you go use that steal immediately after a hook and you get the rot.
Yeah, indeed. But oh, mid lane, DDC. Does he really want to stay this aggressive? He actually uses the Surge as well. He has the level 3 vacuum, 5 seconds on cooldown. He has the wall as well. Has to be careful not to get hooked. Oh, Fruits is there as well. They will start with the shackles. Mozon, can he help out fast enough? Did they hook onto Mozon? Oh man, that vacuum coming onto force stuff. Not enough at DDC. Uses the mech, but probably still gonna take a fall. And indeed he is. And that was just way too aggressive by DDC there.
They are going to lose the tier 1 tower on top though, as we did see that both these two lanes, it was basically a 3 versus 5 situation because the other two heroes were split pushing at the time. They do lose the tier 1 tower because of that, and they give Wraith King a lot of farm. And they do lose their Darkseer in return for that though.
By the way, by the looks of it, Chibix might actually go for a Hand of Mind as well on Temper Assassin, because he has a Glass of Haste plus 1.2k in the bank, and I highly doubt it's going to be a Maelstrom. Or an Armlet.
Yes, and right now, if we have a quick look at the golden experience, 12 minutes of the game, it is rather equal in terms of experience, about 2k in favour of Arrow Gaming. On the opposite side, the gold, though, is a far different story. That Midas on the Darkseer just really coming into handy. Around about 7k difference right now for Arrow. And it is just going to keep getting worse and worse as that Midas keeps taking effect. Already got a mech and 8k gold, 800 gold.
Yeah, Arrow, they're really good at just punishing the kind of lineup Kingdom went for. Because if you go for like an early fight lineup, but for that you need some levels, and oh, the long range hookshot onto Mozon, but he gets the force step before the dismember. Now they're going to turn it around. Xiangsai already had a blink there. The kill of one, they're going for Yomo Compact, who used the Mass Serpent Wards, which are just probably going to get farmed up now as Chibix comes in as well. But oh, they want to go for more. They get the stun onto 2D on the Clockwork as well. 2 are there. Ice Blast to fly, and actually the Ice Blast does connect as well. And man, that's just 3 fast kills. Some Mass Serpent Wards gold as well, and with all the Mass Serpent Wards, it's around 250 to 300 gold or so. Average, maybe a little bit more even, and they're gonna get the tier 1 tower on top of this, so they're probably gonna have like a 10k gold lead after this.
That was absolutely really fantastic weather coming out from Arrow. As soon as Ruby got hooked in, using that Force Staff away, and then they all just converged upon Pudge, and the portal of the Shadow Shaman was just left there. And it was almost like that very nice hook was a bad thing to have happen.
Shit. I was like, okay, this Rubik is gonna go down. Nope, Force Staff to the rescue. At least Smashy. Oh, telekinesis onto Compact. What got stolen? It is the Ether Shock. As Mozon Force Staffs his way out, but I was trying to make a point that I completely forgot. Damn, that's that action happening all the time. But oh yeah, Smashy, he finished up his mech at least, so in the next fights they will be able to counter some of the burst damage, but then again, DDC, he's had his mech for ages now, and he even has a plate mail on top, so I can only guess it's gonna be a Shiva's card.
This Arrow Gaming is just going full on.
Oh, they get the telekinesis mid lane. Blink. Oh, the silence comes out. The global Fixers might be able to still have. There's the hookshot as well. There's the curse of the silent. Fixers will take a fall as Chibix comes in from the side. That's 1 for 1 so far. Another stun onto Fruits. He's completely out of mana. But there's a 2 onto Chibix Smashy. Can he actually do enough? A nice war stop onto 2 as well. The Ice Blast will fly and get the kill on the silencer. Yomo Compact probably gonna take a fall as well. The Shackles onto Xiangsai, buying some time. As actually, it's a 2 for 2 so far. Nice cogs by 2D. Never mind, it's not nice at all. Just blocked himself in with Smashy. I thought like, okay, caught 2 enemies, but no. It was him and a teammate, but in the end, Actually, 3 for 2 as Arrow. They lost more than they gained there.
Yeah, very nice job there coming out from Kingdom, as we did see that initiation, the Clockwork doing some very nice work, just slowing them down enough for the rest of the team to be able to get into position.
They want to go for Smashy though. They have the slow from the Psionic Trap. DDC, no, cogged in by 2D and now, oh, the hook as well. DDC is gonna fall down to the Dismember. Arrow, they got a little bit too cocky by the looks of it. Oh, the hook shot onto Chibix as well. Oh my god. Can they get the kill? No, nice force step by Mozum before the Hex came out. There's the Shackles, the Ice Blast to fly. And oh, the Cogs. Yomo Kombaku drops slow. Fixers kills off Mozum. And now Xiangsai, he's back in the fight. He has his reincarnation. He gets silenced up. Doesn't care too much. Already used his stun. Now War Stomped by Smashy as well. Can they actually chase this down? Ice Vortex? Nope. They will have to back off, or will they? Fixers try to go for the hook. Just a little bit off Chibix. Although on Xiangsai, actually 2D finds him. Can he pop the reincarnation if not anything else?
Well, Rantan doesn't have reincarnation because he's currently only got 87 mana. They could take him out right now. He's so low. Desperately trying to bring the thing away.
Wow, 15 HP. That's all they needed to bring down. But the Psionic Trap slowing down the Clockwork just saved his life at the moment. And I mean, Arrow Gaming, they are definitely still ahead, especially thanks to the free hand of Midases. And when you have Midases and you're already ahead, it's almost impossible to actually fall behind, at least in gold. And well, looking at the graphs now, all the devs on Arrow have done for them is just stop the gold from going further away for the Arrow. Because it's still sitting around 9k or so at the moment. XP, still at 4000 as well. So, I mean, it really looks like Arrow, they've been feeding away a lot of kills, but they're not losing too much out of this.
Well, the problem is right now that every single moment, every single minute, every single second that goes by is one more second towards Arrow Gaming hitting that late game stage where they just have the pure advantage. As we have mostly a support silencer, meaning he's not going to be carrying, meaning this is going to have to be a Doom carrion. He's going a mech at the moment. At the moment, Kingdom is gearing up for the early game, mid game, but they're not really winning it.
Indeed, they are not at all. Oh, Mass Serpent Wars got stolen by Mozum before they killed off the Shadow Shaman. Oh my, they can easily go for the tier 2 now off top of this. The hook, oh, but the blink out by Xiangsai. He gets the stun onto Fruits. He has the global silence if necessary. Doesn't use it quite yet. Just last word and Curse of the Silent. Actually, he used it anyway. Didn't hear the animation, but oh, TDC, he gets tuned up. He's already low. They get the hook onto Mozum as well. He doesn't get the Mass Serpent Wars off. So that's a 2 for 1 again. 2D wants to go for more. He has the cogs. Johnny will be the casualty as Xiangsai. Does he really want to come back in? He has the reincarnation, but it's just not too smart. Hook will miss and I'll make it 3 for 1.
That was just a little bit crazy initiation there coming out from Arrow. They kind of blinked in. It went a little bit weird, but then they all just kind of flumped in one at a time. Yes, flump is now a word.
Well, at least Smashy also has a blink dagger now on the Doombringer, so he can actually maybe look for the fights. And actually Fixers also has a blink on the Page now. So that's pretty decent for them. But they will just need to use them on cooldown. Like, they're gonna need to be blink, hook, kill like every 30 seconds or at least every minute, if not more often, for them to actually be able to make somewhat of a comeback, I think.
And then having to go up against 3 Midases, as we did mention it briefly, but Templar Assassin also picking up that Midas, got a blink dagger on hand, also got that ring of Basilius. The items are just going to start getting out of control for Arrow Gaming, and Kingdom, they're playing okay, they're doing well in team fights, but the long-term game plan, it's not looking good for them.
It's not, but oh, the hookshot onto Chunni, they're going to get yet another kill by the looks of it. Better result with the power cogs, it should be enough, and the Dismember onto Mozum at the same time. So that's once again 2 kills going for Kingdom, and maybe they can get the tier 1 tower on top of this as well. If they can, it's going to be some really nice global goal going their way. But Xiangsai, he's hunting, he wants to go in probably. Chibix, he's rotating in as well with his own blink there. If only DDZ was there, they could probably even take this fight, even 3 against 5. Oh, actually blinks and gets the stun onto Fruits as well. They want the silencer, but DDZ, he gets doomed up. 2D is there as well with the power cogs, and DDZ, he's probably going to take a fall. Actually might be able to escape Xiangsai. There's the reincarnation. Chibix gets dismembered up, he's dropping low. There's the Hex as well, he will fall down to the hook. And now the buyback by DDZ, they vacuum the wall onto 2 heroes. Vacuum core free, but wall only onto 2, and now, oh, Ice Blast will connect them free as well. Can they actually follow up? Psionic Trap to slow them down. Another Ice Blast? Nope. Brave Fire Blast, not Ice Blast, what the hell. But he gets hexed up. There's the Global Silence. Do they turn around the hook shot onto DDC? Will it be a dieback for him? He activates his mech. Smash is in the middle of everybody. Moson dropping low, but Fixers. He comes in. Johnny will fall down. It's 4 dead for Arrow. Are they gonna get the 5th one as well? Xiangsai, no, he gets the blink out. He should be the one who is safe. But DDC just diebacked in that fight.
That was absolutely, a way too aggressive play coming out from Arrow right there. As in, they should have just gave up the tier 1 tower and realized that, yes, we had a bad engagement. Yes, things went wrong. But instead of that, they died back. They gave up a whole bunch of kills. And all of a sudden, we went from Kingdom being behind to, well, the goal is... That was a 4k gold difference. And the goal difference is...
they fake Xiangsai as well. Oh my god. Smashy is wicked sick all of a sudden. 2.7k in the bank. He can easily go for a Shiva's card off his own or maybe an Assault Cuirass to tank it up.
Yeah, as in right now, Doom, it doesn't look like he's going for that Aura build. He's got 2.8k gold in the bank, so it's going to be interesting to see what exactly he goes for, because Doom is one of those heroes who can build up a whole bunch of different ways. Some people like to see him as a, pure carry, go for those damage items, go for that crit. Others like to go for the utility build, with the Auras and the Vanguard, Vladimir. Although I have also seen the Spellcaster Doom being picked up, where you just pick up as many items that are castable as possible.
I mean, definitely in the later stages of the game, having a Refresher Orb on Doom is so sick. You can just lock down the Temper Assassin and Darkseid at the same time, and just try to kite around to Wraith King, which is of course always the Wraith King's biggest issue, the mobility. But just look at the amount of intelligence Fruits has been able to steal to himself.
Yeah, currently got plus 28. Intelligence right now, and that's a lot of extra damage being done right there, and maybe we're going to be seeing the Silencer kind of rotate into that carry role. He's currently buying wards and counter wards, but we are going to be seeing this Purge at some point going to start dropping off, and the Silencer's going to have to be there to pick up the pieces.
Yeah, somebody has to get them to Lake him, and well, Doom, he's definitely nice, like I talked about. If he gets that Refresher, just can lock down DDC as well as Chibix, and if that happens, it's suddenly like all the items, all the farm that you're ahead with, they're negated by just that one spell. But I think as long as the BKBs aren't coming out from Arrow, they might be in trouble in the team fights thanks to the Global Silence. But once the BKBs start coming on the core heroes of Arrow, then the Doom will actually be the only thing to shut them down. Yeah, this member goes through BKB as well, but they won't have the damage output to actually kill them off at the same time.
Yeah, and that's one of the issues you're always going to have, is that this Arrow Gaming is better late game. Yes, they've kind of been making some questionable decisions in terms of engagements to pick off and being a little bit too aggressive, but at the same time, no matter what happens, unless Arrow Gaming gets hugely behind, as they are going to be going for this Roche right now, and this should be an easy Roche's Kingdom have no idea this is happening. Well, now they do.
Well, it's too late for them anyway. Arrow, that's really one nice thing you can always exploit, having the dire side advantage, especially if you have a hero like Temper Assassin who has that built-in minus armor, so the Roche would go down faster. And, well, like, who's gonna even pick up the Aegis? Oh, the hook! They get Xiangsai, he has the reincarnation though, he will fall down, the slow is there, but Fixers, he had the haste on 2D. Can he go for the hook shot? Cogs are there, he gets stunned up as well. There's the Curse of the Silence. Oh, finally the Global Silence comes out, 2 onto DDC as well. He got the vacuum, but no wall to come out. Warstock onto Moton as well. Rubik, he's gonna fall down before he steals anything of importance. DDC, he takes his pill, and now Xiangsai might be in trouble. Fixers with the haste just creating havoc. But he has to run away eventually, and in the meantime, Age is picked up by the Temper Assassin. Oh, the hook shot onto the Cogs as well. The hook, by the looks of it, was actually off target, but Xiangsai, he's gonna go down the secondary time. And well, at least Chibix comes back in, but he gets hexed, gets Warstomp. There's the Silence to come out from the last word. He can't do anything, he's gonna lose the Aegis. Is he gonna go down the secondary time? Nope, Xiangsai, he actually bought back, stun onto Fruits. We'll get that one counter kill. Yep, the damage over time from the Rayfire Blast was enough in the end. And Kingdom, they lose 3, but they kill off 4 in return. They get the Aegis and make Xiangsai use a buyback.
Yeah, that's absolutely huge right there. Yes, Arrow were always going to get that Roshan. They just were out of position when it started, but that Roshan was surprisingly slower than many people would have thought. As I would have thought they'd be doing a lot more damage than that. But we saw that the Purge managed to get into position fast enough, get that initial hook off, and all of a sudden turn around what was a pretty bad situation for them.
Yeah, well, from this, Smashy actually... Does he have his finished... What? Where are the items, man? He has the recipe for AC, especially only needs 500 more gold to have the finish as Alcuras, 25 minutes in. That's pretty good, and he's actually just barely, but still, the leader in net worth at the moment. Just a little bit ahead of Chibix, who has 4.4k gold in the bank on the Temporary Assassin. And what's his next item gonna be actually? If it would have been a BKB, I would have thought he picks it up already.
Yeah, there's a lot of things you can go for on Templar Assassin. You can either go for that BKB, get that more sustain, or just simply go for the straight up damage to the face and get something like a Daedalus. Or Desolator.
Well, I guess that's possible. Oh, he might be in trouble. Fixers comes in. There's the hook as well. Dismember to follow. No refraction charges anymore. There's the hex just in case by Yomo, Kompako, and Tudi. He's the one to get the last hit for it on the clockwork. So that's a really nice pickup because, of course, Chibix the highest farmer in the game. And, well, he's actually going for a Manta style.
Yeah, that's... Okay, Manta style Templar Assassin, that's what's happening. I don't think I've ever actually seen a Templar Assassin and Manta style. I guess it could work in terms of it. There's a lot of single target damage.
Does it get rid of the global silence though if you use Manta style?
I think so. I'm not can't 100% sure as I don't remember off the top of my head.
I mean, I can't say for sure either, but if it does, it makes sense as an item pickup. Plus, even if it doesn't, I guess it's just to create those illusions, maybe when the hook is flying, so the illusion gets hooked, or even create some chaos so that the patch couldn't choose the right target for the dismember, maybe.
And having a quick look, it does look like it does dispel the Manta style. Google is my friend.
Oh, so it does or doesn't? Which one was it?
I know it doesn't. Or there was a
Okay.
patch recently that Curse of the Silence doesn't actually get removed when you use Manta style.
Oh, but the global silence? No, yes. Curse of the Silent. Whatever, man. We shall see. I mean, I think it shouldn't because that would be a really easy counter, to be honest, to a global silence. I mean, BKB is like, yeah, it has a longer cooldown, the duration decreases and something, so BKB makes sense that you get rid of it because just magic immunity for the win. Manta style is like, usually gets rid of the smaller stuff, but not ultimates.
Yep, it does remove... yeah, Manta style does remove the global silence, so that's actually a pretty nice item for the TA right there. Getting rid of a lot of very nice debuffs. It doesn't obviously get rid of the Doom, as Doom is basically infinite and you can't use Manta style anyway while doomed. But for all the other items, it's a very nice pickup and going to do lots and lots of damage.
Oh, Xiangsai, he blinks in aggressive, wants to go for smashes, smash, already down to half HP, activates the mech, the Ice Burst actually doesn't connect on anybody on Xiangsai. Well, he can tank it up all he wants in the front line, stacks to the Reincarnation, but he gets shackled up, that's the Reincarnation pop. And in the back lines, can they do anything? Fixers, can he get the hook? Yes, he can. Chibix, he's hooked in, he can't get out. The blink will be coming off cooldown. But they already kill off Mozon. Johnny might be next to the. He's going aggressive, but Chibix comes in with the massive right clicks. Refraction charges are there for the extra damage as well. But he's dropping low. There's the Curse of the Silent. The buyback from Mozon as well. Fixers, the only casualty for Kingdom by the looks of it, as the power cogs got stolen by Mozon and they want to go for more. But were there any buybacks again? Actually, yeah, Mozon was the only buyback here. So Arrow, they're just losing the fights, and oh, looks like Kingdom want to go for more Hex onto Xiangsai, but the Shadow Charm completely out of mana now. The Cogs coming up by both Mozon and 2D at the same time. There's the stun, there's the wall vacuum fruit, he's gonna fall, as will Yomo Kompaku. But from the sidelines, 2D has to go for the TP out, Greyfire Blast, it's not gonna come off cooldown in time. And Doombringer, he just blinks him his way to safety. But I think Kingdom, they just should have backed off. I don't know why they really hung around there.
As do you see right now, Doom has that Blink Dagger in hand. Very good with the War Stomp he's got. Obviously, there's two of the main abilities you can pick up from those creeps. You either get the Direwolf to get the additional crit and the aura damage, or you can pick up that Centaur War Stomp, which gives Doom a stun, which is always a nice thing. But in the meantime, this tier 2 tower is going to go down, and well, unless the fortification is going to get popped, are they going to try and defend this? Looks like they are.
Well, I think that one TP might be a mistake. Xiangsai goes for the stun. Nope, I would actually have to back off. Oh, the hook into a creep.
But it is going to save that tier 2 tower.
Well, that's always nice because, oh, do they really want to chase this? It sure looks like it, but everybody's just so far away already. For Stefan Mozon, of course, Johnny just running away and, well, at Ancient Depression he has the level 2 Ice Blast by now. But at least he's not too close to finishing off the Aghanim Scepter, so Kingdom, they still do have a chance. But it's just not looking that great for them still.
Yeah, as in obviously Kingdom are doing some nice movements and taking advantage of every single mistake Arrow's giving them, but I feel that their lineup is just going to keep getting undone. Every single moment those minuses get activated, every single moment that late game carries, and I know we keep harping on about it, but this is going to end up becoming the issue. Because we're 30 minutes into the game, and it's worth noting only 2 tier 1 towers are currently gone down for Arrow right now.
Oh man, Arrow, they're just in such a dominant position and have been throughout the entire game, more or less. And Xiangxai, he has another 3.6k gold in the bank. I guess he doesn't care that awfully much about the global silence because his reincarnation will still be active. And Ray Fire Blast, well, he's probably gonna cast it once, then get silenced, and well, once it comes off cooldown, the silence will have ended anyway. But the supports, well, they're of course not gonna get BKBs. The Processimal, he has the Manta style for it. TDZ though, I guess he might want to look towards the BKB, but then again, if you're up against a Doom anyway, oh, it's hard to decide where to go or not to go for BKBs.
Yeah, at this point, we are going to start getting to the point where, on the Arrow Gaming at the very least, BKBs start becoming a little less useful, as although they do have the Shadow Shaman, that's basically the only real disable on the Kingdom side that can be stopped by BKB. The Dismember and the Doom Ultimate both go through that ability.
Oh, they get the hook onto Chibix, they get the Dismember as well. Will they use the Doom for it? I don't think they need to, and indeed they don't, as they use the War Stomps by Smashy. And Fixers, 371 gold for him. Unfortunately, the Roche is still down, so Kingdom, I don't think they would be fast enough. Maybe actually, with the Mass Serpent Wars, and 30 seconds time, that's the spawn timer for the Roche. And if Kingdom can actually scout it out, if they could snatch it, it would be a huge thing for them.
Oh yeah, if they could pick up the Roche, that should be pretty huge considering the dire advantage that Dire has for that Roshan. But it is going to be very difficult considering that they have the team fight ability, but they need Arrow to walk into it. If they just go into Roshan themselves, then Darkseer comes in, he gets his wall off, he gets his vacuum. The rest of them come in with the AE ultimate, and everyone has a sad time.
And well, do you think that Kingdom actually should be looking towards some BKBs of their own? To just maybe counter the magical damage like the wall, vacuum, ice blast?
I'm trying to think though, who really needs the BKB? Because at this point, there's nobody on Kingdom that benefits from being able to just right click. Maybe Doom? And Silencer. Doom does have that Assault Crush right now and is pretty tanky himself. Getting up a little bit more magical resistance, as it is worth noting he picked up a gem, being able to do some nice counter-warding there.
Gem is always so nice, especially at the moment on a tanky hero like the Doombringer, because he's probably the least likely to die out of Kingdom. I mean, Clockwork, he's just suicides anyway, hookshot in, YOLO, GG. Of course, he has a Shiva's card now, so the minus armor and the physical damage coming out from the Brave King and the Temper Processing, it won't be as effective, but Arrow, they are already doing Roshan, it's almost down to half HP, and Kingdom, they have to react and they have to do it fast if they want to stand a chance at all. But DDC, he finally gets his Blink. Oh man, will we see a hookshot? 2D? How big of a man are you? There's the hookshot, but Mosun, he blocks it. Global silence as well, but Roshan is gonna go down anyway, probably. Mosun goes down to the hook of Pixers, but Roshan... No, the 4-step is actually a little bit off target. Fruits, he goes into Smashy. He got a nice war stomp. As Temper Processing got the Aegis instead. Oh, the vacuum wall onto free Ice Blast to follow. Fruits goes down. Smashy probably gonna take a fall as well. Although Chibix is low under the Mass Serpent Wars, he actually will fall down. Maybe no, the melt. It's saving him for the timing. Gem is on the ground. Oh my god, that melt just rescued his life. And 2D, he's gonna fall down now. Xiangxai has the reincarnation, and 2D with the slow on him. He can't do much of anything. Blade Mail activated. TDC comes in with the Ion Shell Surge. Hook. Oh, it's not enough. And all Fixers, he's gonna fall as well now. There's nothing he can do 1 against 2.
And that initiation, that Rubik just blocked Clockwork from doing anything right there, and they kind of tried to went in on the team fight. They did take out the Rubik pretty quickly, but that's all they ended up taking out. They got the Roshan easily. We saw the Darkseer and the AA combo coming out, just decimating the rest of the team, and well, we saw a 5-man wipe coming out from Arrow. Arrow got the Aegis. I don't even... Did it get popped? No, it didn't. They've still got the Aegis right now. They're going to take another tier 2 tower. Only one tier 2 tower left. Looking kind of all lonely and... Guys, where are the rest of you gone? Here on the middle lane.
Well, with that one fight, Johnny suddenly has an Aghanim Scepter. up on the Ancient Apparition, so that's gonna be 17-second duration. And, well, actually, I thought at some point that the Pudge maybe went for the pipe just to negate some of it, but no, he went for Boots of Travels instead. So he's still somewhat away from the pipe getting finished, and we're really getting to the stages where Arrow Gaming's just late game potential starts kicking in a little bit more heavily than it did before, because 35 plus minutes with Hand of Midas is rolling, they just have too much gold, and they've secured themselves a 14k gold lead as well as a 10k XP lead again now. Plus, well, Maelstrom finished on Wraith King, Temper Assassin has a Desolator now, and I think the next fight might be just the deciding factor in this game.
I would actually disagree a little bit to that, because we're at that point for Kingdom right now that they've got to win every single team fight to bring this back. But if they lose just a single one, all of a sudden their racks, all of a sudden their tier 3s are going to start getting threatened.
Yeah,
It's basically a case of Kingdom need to play perfectly.
Oh, there's smoke against smoke, 5 men against 5, but the Global Silence comes out, this DDC goes in, they get the Doom as well, so there won't be any wall of vacuum. DDC already dropping low, he is taken out, he does get the buyback, but Smashy, Ice Blast, he will take a fall in return, so it's a 2-for-1 so far. And they get the Shackles onto Father, or Chibix, but he has the Aegis, so he doesn't care that much. 2D, he will fall down, and the 5th one, trying to run away, will be the Shadow Shaman. The Rayfire Blast catches him a few right clicks, and well, this is probably going to be Rax, and I don't think if Kingdom can hold on any longer.
No, we are going to be seeing Arrow. They're going to be trying to push in, hoping to get some. Are there any buybacks on Kingdom's side?
Well, there's one on the Shadow Shaman.
He doesn't have his wards up either, so it'd be pretty wasted buyback, and well, they're just going to use that to fortification, try and give themselves a bit more time to spawn back, but this might be tier 3s going down.
Well, the tier 2 actually against Backdoor Protection is keeping them in. 20 more seconds for most of Kingdom to come back alive. Although even then, I mean, Chibix still has his Aegis of the Immortal. I mean, they didn't even get to pop it last fight around. And Xiangsai, of course, has the Reincarnation as well. He's level 21 now. It's not going that fast, because I thought the towers and buildings will drop down a bit faster, but I guess it's going to be fast enough in the end. As the Reincarnation gets popped, he just tanks up the tower with this. I guess maybe worth it, but well, the Meteoraks definitely go down fast, and Fixers doesn't connect with the hook, so oh, they get the Hex onto Chibix, the Shackles to follow. Will it be enough? Smash actually completely off target, and Moson, he stole the hook shot, turned it up onto 3 targets, and now 2D activates his Shiva's card, wants to go in. Reincarnation, not Reincarnation, Aegis, and oh, will there be a dismember? It's on cooldown. Hook as well, actually might kill Chibix. They will indeed, as Shadow Shaman gets the kill with the other shock. So it's a 1-for-1, 2D fell, as did Chibix. But melee racks down, and that's all Arrow needed.
Entirely is. Well, at this point, it's just going to keep getting harder and harder. We're just seeing these team fights that every team fight the Kingdom win is just simply them trying to stay in this game, while every single team fight Arrow wins is going to be them attempting to win it.
I mean, that's just the risk you take, I guess, when you draft a lineup like Kingdom did. Just the early to mid game lineup with little to no late game at all.
Yeah, entirely agreed, as we just saw that they didn't get enough of an early game advantage because of the trial lane we saw coming out that made things equal rather than the aggressive start that they wanted, and we're just seeing the price of it now. We're seeing the price of 3 minuses giving Arrow such a huge advantage, and Kingdom are going to have to pull something amazing out and do all their ultimates perfectly to bring this back at the moment, as they are currently 17k-ish experience behind, and about 23k behind in terms of gold.
How to come back from that with a like mid-game lineup? I guess they can definitely win a couple of fights, but even if they win the fights, they're just usually not in a position to push on top of that, unless they get like a complete team wipe and lose like maybe 1 or 2 heroes in return. And even if they do, well, I guess they can maybe try to not use the Mass Serpent Wards in the fights so that they would actually have some pushing power later. But without the Mass Serpent Wards, their push is pretty damn weak.
And that's the issue, that right now we just see we don't even see any pushing items. We've kind of got the mech, which is more of a sustained pushing item. We don't really see any way for Kingdom to nuke down those creep waves, get those towers down without those Serpent Walls, like you said.
Well, Arrow, they have grouped up, they are on the hunt, and actually Xiangsai might be able to catch somebody with his blink. Yomo Gonpaku, 4-staff. No, Xiangsai actually didn't get vision. Oh, to put a hook shot! They went in, Moson stole it once again, or maybe he had it from before. The hook from Fixers does not connect, and Xiangsai, he's going balls deep, he's gonna get silenced by the last word. He just runs out of the base, doesn't care at all.
As the hook is going to miss right there, and they are going to be trying to just start sieging down these racks. That range rack's already down to around about half health, and I don't think it's going to be for this world much longer. As Doom
they go
jumping
aggressive. They stun up fruits as well. Can they bring him down before the global science? The hook shot this time around by the real clockwork, but there's the global science. BKB by Xiangsai. He wants to go aggressive. Mantis died by temper assassin, gets rid of the silence. They're going for smashy. They get that kill so damn fast with the Desolator minus armor and the meld. And all this is definitely gonna be GG as Xiangsai goes down in the base, fountain diving for the win, blinks out, and in the meantime, Fixers is gonna fall down to the two supports as well as TDC. Actually, Podge is pretty damn tanky, but just not quite tanky enough in the end, as the tier 3 does still stand, but not long for this world. And Xiangsai, well, he doesn't care about objectives, he wants the kills. Well, kills he shall get on a monster kill streak. GG, there's the vacuum wall, Ice Blast to fly as well, Fruit. He's gonna go down, as will Smash in a second. Well, some fountain diving fun as finally the GG gets called.
Yeah, when the fountain diving happens, you know the game's a little bit out of control, and that is going to be 1-0 coming out for Arrow Gaming. Kingdom, one game away from facing elimination as Arrow just draft a slightly better lineup. They do almost throw it away, and maybe that's something Kingdom could come back for in the next round, but I'll leave Kucha to sign you off for game number 2.
Yeah, game number 2 is gonna come up in just a couple of minutes, just gonna join the new lobby and team's probably gonna be ready in a second. But if you guys enjoyed what we did, be sure to follow us on this channel, as well as you can follow Heflatv too as well, because we're casting here or there. Both are English channels for us. And of course, check out our votes on youtube.com/Heflatv. And well, this is gonna be it for game number 1. Game number 2 will be up in a couple of minutes time.